Hi everyone, Sheree here. Today I'm going to be creating a Christmas themed layout using some new cut files from Kerri Bradford Studio. Today I'm using the phrase Falalalala, which we all know. This is from the new cut files that's called Holiday Cheer. There are a few different phrases included in the little bundle, but I'm just using this one for my page today. So as you can see, I've got all these pieces already cut out. So instead of doing it on camera, because it did take a little bit of time, I just thought I would explain how I've cut those pieces. I want these pieces to fit in behind the cut file. So to do that, all I did was selected my paper. So for example, this one here, I wanted to use that striped side, so I flipped it over. I also flipped the cut file over, and then I just use a pencil, here it is, to trace around the inside of the design. So when I lifted it off, I'll just flip that one over, and you can see on the other side, you can see where I've done all that tracing around the inside of the cut file. And then when I cut it out, I just made sure to leave a little bit of a gap, and I cut around the very outside of the traced outline. So that little bit of extra on the outside of the cutting just allows me to use some liquid glue to adhere it in behind that cut file so it's nice and secure. The center of the A's are also there, but of course when you lift it off your silhouette mat, which is what I use to cut this file out, these pieces do become separate. So I also made sure that I traced around the outside of that one as well, so that I knew where to cut the little center of the A out. So I've got all of these pieces ready to go now. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'm just going to use some liquid glue to do that. Just grab it out. Just this one here, the Tombow Mono Aqua. So I'm just going to use that to adhere all of these pieces in behind the cut file, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put the rest of my layout together today. So I'll go and do that, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I have adhered, sorry, it's just the backing paper. I've adhered each of those pieces in behind now, so it looks a bit messy on the back, but that's okay. It looks great from the front. So even though it was a little bit fiddly to put together, it was so worth it because I love the outcome so far. So now I just need to get these little triangular pieces and adhere them on the top of each of these A's. So I'll go ahead and do that. I've got my liquid glue here. So all I'm doing is running a little bead of glue down the back, all around the back of that little triangle, and then I can go ahead and adhere it to the center of the A's, just like that. Okay, so the center of the A's are all stuck down now as well, so you can see there they look great. So I'm really happy with that, and now I can go ahead with putting my page together. Okay, so I'm going to position that piece down that right hand side of the page, and I've got that photo of me in my Christmas antlers, and I'm just going to tuck it in behind that chipboard tree. So I'm using pieces from the crepe paper Falalalala collection from last year because I absolutely love it. I've got my journaling strips there, which I think I'll put underneath the photo just to the left of the tree. And then I'm just playing around with other little bits and pieces. I've got some little present stickers that I'm going to put down the bottom. I've got that merry flag, which I think I'll put next to the photo. But I'm just going to stick the Falala piece down. So I'm putting double-sided tape all the way down so it sticks nicely. So that can go on straight away, but I'm not going to stick down that tree just yet because I'm planning on adding some stitching to those journaling strips, which it would get in the way. So I'm just going to leave it there while I position the photo and those journaling strips. So I'm sticking that photo down now, just at a fun little angle on the side there, and I can add those journaling strips underneath as well. And then I can add the stitching to those. sticking those down, and I'll add the stitching and be back. So that's done now, and now I can go ahead and add that chipboard tree down the center. So just carefully making sure I'm not covering up any of my journaling. Okay, so those little stickers can go on now, and I do have foam circles behind those so that there's a little bit of dimension happening down the bottom there. Just getting that positioning right. And now I've got that merry flag, and I fiddle around with this a little bit too long. I'm just trying to tuck it in underneath that left side, and I want it overlapping the top half of the photo. So something like that. But then I realise it's not going to stay there just with the double-sided tape behind the side of the photo. So it was a bit thick to put the double-sided tape down the flagpole there. So in the end I just put it on each end of the flag. And that seems to be enough to be holding it in place. So I can tuck that one back in behind the photo now. And that piece is done. Okay, so then I've got another little chipboard piece I'm going to put just across the center of the tree there. And I've got another little sticker here that I can't help myself. I'm going to add that one as well, just deciding where to put it. I know it looks like a piece of candy, but you know, it could have been a wrapped gift as well. I've got a little star there that I've just punched out of some glittered cardstock. So because I've got the glitter as part of the Falalalala piece, I wanted a little bit of glitter on the side there as well. And I do grab out my star punch and just punch a couple more because I thought I'd needed one on the right hand side. So punching those out, then I'll decide where to put that one. I was going to put it up the top, but because that other glittered piece is at the top there, I end up putting it down to the bottom right, just above that gift. So that's going to go on there, and I've stuck those down using glue dots so they'll stay in place nicely. Alright, so I've decided to do a little bit of stamping, and I've got the bundle up stamp set there. So first I'm going to stamp the words be of good cheer, and then it'll be making spirits bright underneath that. So I'm just going to use black ink, and I'll put them sort of at a fun angle as well. So that's be of good cheer going on there now, and then making spirits bright just underneath that. Just doing a little test stamp first. So that's on there now. I'm quite happy with how they've stamped. And then I will just need to add the date down the very bottom. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this one come together. It was so fun to play around with these cut files today. And let me know if you've got any questions. I'll pop a link down below to Kerri Bradford Studio. And I'll be back again soon with another project to share. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.